Well, hi there. I'm going to be interviewing you for D.W. Griffith's Broken Blossoms. It's set to be released 1919. You know, it's a little bit of a time away from now, but it is a project. It is a D.W. Griffith project, and as we know from Birth of a Nation, he tends to pick out extravagant, sort of large-scale budget movies, and it's just this cataclysmic world of a picture, a motion picture, that it takes its time. Although, granted, of course, Broken Blossoms is a much smaller scale movie. It's supposed to be done in a studio. It's supposed to highlight innocence and love and all of that, but we'll see. I don't want to discuss the idea even further because I want to make sure that you're the right person for the part. Yes, we've interviewed Lillian Gish. She seems to be like a very strong contestant, or contendant rather, for the protagonist of the part, this innocent daughter of a brute who just I don't want to tell any more of the story. I can't divulge any more of the details of the story. You know, just this wonderful love story of just absolute woe. But you know something, it's a story. It's a story. It's not my story to tell. It's just a story. So I'm not gonna divulge any more details anyway. So let's just begin with the interviewing process. So this movie is going to be very heart-wrenching. It's going to be quite depressing. It's going to be quite difficult to watch, if you will. I've heard that D.W. Griffith is having troubles just reading the script, let alone the idea of filming the movie and having to review and edit the movie. But I mean, when an idea is that strong, it has to be conveyed, it must be done, because otherwise you're not a true artist if you can't push through the boundaries of a strong emotional pain. So I'm just going to be pulling up a file, a fresh new page, a new file, a fresh new page, and I'm just going to be just giving you some notes, okay? So, tell me, what is your name? And is that with a C or a K? Okay. Do you have a middle name? Okay. And what is your stage name, if you have one? If you don't have one, we can provide one for you. Okay, one will be provided for you. What do you say are some of your defining characteristics physically? Like, what are some of your favorite parts of your face and or body? Interesting. And would you say that they're unique to you? Would you say that you're Okay, well, if you were to get the part, I can see us sort of reconfiguring your face. Of course, your eyebrows would need to be plucked. They're quite garish like mine, but I'm not in the pictures. I'm just someone behind the scenes, so I don't really feel like plucking my eyebrows. Plus, it keeps these men away from me because they're all like, hey, why are you doing it to every single woman that comes by? And I'm like, no, thank you. I am just an assistant. I am here. I have my cats. I am done. So we can pluck your eyebrows, make it a little more fitting for the time, if you will. We can also sort of make your mouth really nice and small like mine, just to sort of put some makeup in that allocated space and just kind of give you a more defined, puckered up lip look. We can also do something with your hair. The fashion tends to be the long, wavy hair, like that of Evelyn Nesbit and whatnot, but we could do something a little more stylistic with your hair, especially. No, but I would consider that the part for Broken Blossoms would require a protagonist with longer hair, because she would have to be she would have to be quite feminine in appearance, a very lost little girl, as the Broken Blossoms title insinuates. Just a flower falling from a tree that is ripped apart. So, stage name will be decided later. Change, or rather not change, but emphasize your look. Emphasize what you have already going on to make it a lot more striking and unique. That way it pops out on the grand silver screen. Why, yes, well, fun little tidbit. The reason why we moved production companies. Granted, this happened a little while ago, but the reason we moved to production companies is because obviously Thomas Edison owned all the patents to all the films coming out in the East Coast, the New Jersey, New York area. So any movie that was being produced had to be patented by Thomas Edison's tech company. So we didn't want to deal with that anymore, so we moved to the West Coast, far away from his little jurisdiction, if you will, and we created our own little production company, free of his patents and lawsuits, because he would also sue companies to prevent them from producing films, producing art, just because they wouldn't accede to, or yes, acquiesce to his patents. So that's why we moved to the West Coast, and it has been going phenomenally. I mean, I love Los Angeles. It is such a wonderful, warm, great place to live. The weather is fantastic. I mean, New York had the weather there was atrocious. So I'm absolutely in love with where our location is now, and if you were to get the part, then we would have a nice little studio compartment for you to just relax, live in for the duration of the movie. That way you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to worry about anything else aside from just rehearsing the part, being the part, living the part. Now, all that information has been collected. That's the only information I'm going to be needing. So from right now forward, I'm just going to be asking you to do certain facial features, perform certain tasks for me, okay? Excellent. So I'm going to be studying your face and making sure that you can exhibit the emotions that we want to carry through the silver screen as you are embodying this protagonist. So will you please, first and foremost, this is a very iconic look, would you please pull the corners of your lips down and give me your saddest face? It's just your saddest, most melancholic face. Excellent. Now, do the reverse. Smile for me, but with the saddest eyes you can possibly create. Yes, just, but with the saddest eyes possible. As if you've lost everything in the world. You're trapped within a harrowing lifestyle, a broken home, a victim of abuse, and you just have to fake a smile in order to get through it. It's just your most harrowing eyes, your gaze rather. Excellent. Now, I'm going to be needing you to just pretend like you're in a closet and just lose your mind. Just absolutely panic within the room. A little more energy, a little more enthusiasm. As if your father has an axe and he is throwing it against the door, trying to chop it down to grab you from the closet in which you are taking refuge from his torment. Yes, more hysterical, as if your life depended on it, as if you were begging for, the love of your life, your hero, your savior to come through the door and save you. Yes, just screaming your head off. Excellent, excellent. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Okay. Now give me a genuine blushing smile as if you were a little girl that just received, this tiny little puppy or a beautiful little cute gift. Yes, there's an innocent element to this movie. The protagonist is supposed to be a very innocent person trapped within this turmoil of the world. Yes, I just need you to embody the extreme spectrum of intense sadness, intense fear, and intense innocence. Just this sort of wide-eyed, just absolute feeling of being in tune and excited and hopeful for the world and the future to come. Okay, excellent. Wow, I think that you performed excellent, especially since this happens to be your first audition for any movie ever. Excellent. Well, you're going to be in a little film, in a little production. So, I have internalized my judgments. I'm going to be quickly noting them down in your file, just that way I and pass it on to D.W. Griffith, and he can make his final decision as to whether or not he wants to call, or rather, you know, telegram you back. Excellent. Okay, so I have made my final notes on you. Stated that your innocence, fear, sadness, horror, all been quite top notch. So we will telegram you if we decide that we want to welcome you back and re-audition for the role. But once again, it seems like Lillian Gish might be getting the role, so if we do telegram you, that will be your stiff competition. Okay? Excellent. Well, I hope you get the part. I wish you the best.